Today's video is going to be a quick review of adding and subtracting fractions. The most important thing to remember when you add or subtract fractions, number one thing you must remember is you must have a common denominator. So, when we look at these two fractions, we want to add 1/2 and 1/3. If you have a half of pizza left and I have a third of a pizza left and I want to know how much we have all together, the only way I can figure that out is if all the pizza slices are in the same size. And that's what we're doing when we're getting a common denominator. So we start that out by finding the multiples of these denominators. So I've listed the multiples of 2 here, just a few of them, not all of them, they go on forever, and a few of the multiples of 3. The least or the lowest common multiple is the one we want to use if you can figure it out quickly. So the least common multiple is the lowest one common to both of these, and that is 6. So I'm going to put a 6 right here beside each of our fractions. That's going to be our new denominator. And I need to figure out, how did I get to that 6? And it's a balancing act. Whatever I do to the denominator, I must do to the numerator. So I know that I said 2 times 3 to get 6. So if I did 2 times 3 to the denominator, I must do 1 times 3. Whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top. 1 times 3 is 3. So I know that if I have a half of pizza, then that means that I have 3/6 of a pizza. And over here, 3 times 2 gives me a 6. So I must do the same thing to the numerator, 1 times 2. So if I have a third of a pizza, I have 2/6 of a pizza. Now I'm going to keep my denominators the same. I simply add the numerator to get my answer. 3 plus 2, 5. So 1/2 plus 1/3 equals 5/6. So let's look at another one. 1/3 plus 1/6. I have the multiples of 3 already listed here, and I listed the multiples of 6. Not all of them, but just a good amount of them here. I'm looking for the least common multiple in both lists, and it looks like the same thing here. It's going to be the 6 is the least one. Now this is already in the size of a 6, so I don't have to mess with this one. Yay! I only have to mess with 1. So this is going to turn into a 6. To get my 3 to a 6, I said 3 times 2. So what I did to the denominator, I must do to the numerator. Balancing act. 1 times 2 is 2. So now I have 2/6 plus 1/6. The denominator stays the same. I add the numerator and I get 3/6. 3/6. Now, that's not in its simplest form. So that's the next thing I want us to look at of fractions. And that is either simplifying or reducing fractions. So I took that 3/6 and brought it right over here to this next slide. When we're simplifying or reducing a fraction, we need to find a common factor. And if we find the greatest common factor, then we can simplify it the first go-round. So here are the factors of 3. There's only 2 things that multiply together to give me 3, 1 and 3. The factors of 6 are 1, 2, 3, and 6, because 1 times 6 is 6 and 2 times 3 is 6. Those are the factors. The greatest common factor is 3. So that's the number I'm going to use to simplify. To simplify, I'm going to divide the numerator and the denominator by that 3. So I'm going to come here, because whatever I do to the denominator, I must do to the numerator. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So 3/6 in its simplified state is 1/2. So if I had 3/6 of a pizza, I'd have 1/2 of a pizza. Same thing. Let's do this one. 10/15. What are the factors of 10? Well, they are 1 and 2 and 5 and 10. What are the factors of 15? They are 1, 3, 5, and 15. What's the greatest common factor in these two lists? What's the greatest number in common in both lists? 5. So I'm going to divide both by 5. 15 divided by 5 is 3. 10 divided by 5 is 2. So 10/15 would simplify to 2/3. Last one to practice. 12/20. What are the factors of 12? Very quickly, they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. What are the factors of 20? 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, and 20. What is the greatest common number in both lists? The greatest common number in both lists is 4. That's what I'll divide by. When I do that, I will simplify my fraction. 20 divided by 4 is 5. 12 divided by 4 is 3. This term simplified is 3/5.